So, Linus Tech Tips, a tech YouTube channel with over 15 million subscribers, just got hacked, started live streaming Elon Musk crypto scams, and then just got deleted. In this video, we're going to look at the malware sample that did it, how it happened, why it may not have been caught by their antivirus program, and also the entire attack chain, starting with the emails. And this is a good place to start because I myself receive dozens of these malicious emails, and according to Linus, this is exactly the kind of thing they received as well. So we have an email pretending to be a sponsorship offer from a person who is supposed to be like a PR manager for the sponsor company. Now, some of you may instantly say, well, the domain name doesn't match with the company, so isn't that a red flag? Well, that's not necessarily the case, because let's take a look at this example. This is a legitimate email coming from the RSA conference, and this is one of their PR announcements. A lot of the times, big companies will hire PR firms to manage their outreach and their communications, so having a mismatch with the domain isn't that uncommon, and if you're a marketing executive, I can totally see them falling for this. Another thing I want to highlight is how often I receive these emails. So this was 21st February, this is 25th, and these are just select emails, by the way. There are a lot more in my actual inbox. And interestingly, none of them have any sort of malware attachment, but you see, that's the trick. They never send you the malware attachment in the very first email. They will just say, we want to sponsor your channel, get back to us. And then when you do get back to them, then they will send you something that's going to be a zip file. And when you extract it, you're going to have something that looks like this, an agreement. And a large channel like Linus Tech Tips, I assume, they likely have canned responses to all of their sponsors. So maybe the marketing exec just responds to all of these emails with a standard canned response, telling them about their sponsorship rates and things like that. And then in response, when they send you an offer or an agreement, it would be very natural for them to just click on it, especially if it looks like this. So it looks like a PDF, and they have likely gone through a ton of offer documents from other sponsors who are legitimate, so there's no reason for them not to click on this. Of course, that was the fatal mistake, because when we take a look at properties, as you will see, this is not a PDF, this is indeed an SCR application. And that's also a bit deceptive because people by now know that there's something about exe files that you need to be careful because they are executables, but not a lot of people know that a screensaver can effectively act as an application in Windows. A lot of people may not even know what .scr means. Another interesting thing that you see immediately about this file is that it's over 700 megabytes in size. And that means a lot of online scanners and traditional defense mechanisms are just going to skip it because they will think it's too big to be a malware file. It would just take too many system resources to deep scan a file this big, so they just get skipped. However, if we open up a hex editor and just try to load up this application, I'm pretty confident that we're going to find that most of this is empty space, and there you have it. So this is the data that's actually within the application, and as you can see, we've got some data here. Of course, it's not going to be legible because this is machine code, but if we keep scrolling down, we just get dots and just zeros. There's absolutely nothing for most of the file, so it's just empty space or padding that's used to enlarge the file size. This is something I've spoken about several times in the past. It's a very popular technique with attackers to bypass scanners and to make their files difficult to analyze. I did make a video about this months ago, but let's try and redo the same steps. That is, we're going to remove a lot of this empty space. So I'm just going to start selecting stuff. The empty space here seems to be all towards the end, but of course, sometimes it can be in the middle, in which case you have to be careful about the start and end. I will go ahead and delete it, and I'll redo the process one more time just to make sure we got rid of most of the junk. And now we're just going to try to save this file. And as you can see, the file size has reduced from 700 megabytes to 263 kilobytes. Talk about bloated. Now that this is small enough, we can pass it through some analysis tools like integer and VARSTotal. And now the detections are popping up. Interestingly, nobody has a clear detection on what this is. Well, some of them do. So ESET has already identified it as a Redline stealer sample. In case you don't know, Redline is a popular info stealer as a service, which means it's a malware kit that is on sale in the black market that anyone can use to run their own malware operation. It's been in the wild for a while and I've been warning about it. In fact, I made a video titled "How Do YouTubers Get Hacked" several months ago. Unfortunately, it's not popular enough, so you guys need to share that video more because clearly somebody at Linus Tech Tips didn't know about it. But essentially, the way the malware operates is the moment you launch the sample, it's going to steal all your session tokens related to YouTube and other popular websites, allowing the attackers to log in as you. Now, it doesn't matter if you have two-factor authentication or a good password, all of that, because this is essentially the information that's stored on your system that allows you to log in automatically. So as you know, whenever you go to a popular website like YouTube, there's an option that says "Remember Me." So you don't have to type in your password or do your two-factor every time you open YouTube. And the way that's possible is because that information is stored on your computer. Now, the downside is, obviously, if that information is stored on your computer, a malware like this that runs on your computer can then get access to that data, allowing the attackers to log in as yourself. Couple of things that Linus should have done differently here. One thing is the issue of privilege management. You should always use the principle of least privilege. So if you're running a large YouTube channel like Linus Tech Tips, I don't think you should have a lot of people with management access to the channel. There should only be a very senior person, maybe just Linus himself, who has full access to the YouTube channel, can upload videos, and everybody else can produce the videos in the backend. The other thing is something I talk about all the time, which is having good protection on your system. It's not enough to rely on common sense, as it were, because we all can make this mistake. Now, you might be laughing, well, I'm never going to click on a screensaver file, whatever, but think about it. You just get a mail, you look at something like this, you're looking at 50 or 100 offers per day. Are you really going to check each one for an extension as you're going through your email? You just see the PDF icon, it kind of looks like it, you just double click it, and that's the end of that. Of course, if you're not used to getting such emails and you see one email with a weird attachment, you're going to be suspicious. But keep in mind, this employee of Linus probably sees a ton of emails with PDF attachments. That's their job. So it is much easier mistake to make than you probably imagine. Another thing worth noting is that since a lot of you do like using services like VirusTotal, and I've seen other tech YouTubers say that you don't need an antivirus because you can use VirusTotal to scan any suspicious files, and I'm sure they mean well, but that is actually very bad advice because VirusTotal does not work as an antivirus scanner does. Even though it says over here that you've got Bitdefender as an antivirus engine, it's not the same engine as the one that you would have on your computer. So for example, the behavioral components, the monitoring of the system, none of that is actually happening in the VirusTotal analysis. So VirusTotal is good to identify malware that is already known, but it's not the same as scanning a file or analyzing malicious behavior on your own system. So you could have an AV that does not detect something on VirusTotal, but would detect it if it was installed on your system. Think of VirusTotal as a very superficial kind of version of the AV. So just because something has no detections on VirusTotal doesn't necessarily mean that it isn't malware or that it is not detected by AVs. If you want to learn more about how to select a good security program, please check out my other videos on the PC Security channel. We have a ton of reviews doing actual tests of antivirus programs against real malware to establish these facts. And like and share this video if you enjoyed it. This video is brought to you by CrowdSec, a free open source intrusion prevention system. The project is on GitHub, so you can check it out today and install it on your favorite Linux box. I've already set it up on Ubuntu and it's super simple and easy to use. CrowdSec allows you to ingest alerts from various sources, parse through the logs, and build your own intrusion detection system. You can set up custom rules, leverage the community blacklist, and automate your entire security process. So if you're an individual or company looking to monitor alerts from various different sources, this is a great tool to do it. You can also deploy an agent on Windows, which is currently in alpha. Once you have it set up, you're going to look at the CrowdSec console. This is going to show you a bird's eye view of all your agent scenarios and alerts. You've also got access to cyber threat intelligence, so this is where you can look up any kind of IP that you like. So I'm just going to paste a malicious IP here, and if we do a search, it's going to give us the confidence level and the various actions associated with it. So as you can see, this one is flagged as a bad actor. The attack details show it's an HTTP scanner and crawler. You can see the reporting period, and you can also make a comment. So it's very much community driven. And while some parts of the project are still in development, still in beta, this is a great time to jump in and start playing around with the tools, getting involved with the project. So check them out, link in the description. Show them some love for supporting the PC Security channel. This is Leo. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, stay informed, stay secure.